Well, it could be the most pivotal week of Football Manager history this week. We've had a lot of information coming through today, and all of it ended up with a massive 90-minute playthrough from Sports Interactive with Miles Jacobson, Spencer Owen and Jared Bowen taking the helm, demonstrating the original gameplay. We're going to cover it all. We're going to try and cover it all in this one video. There's a lot of information to go through, so let's get into it. Let's see what it is. Sports Interactive have also confirmed, as part of this, we're going to stream Football Manager 26 at 6 o'clock tonight. They also announced that the Advanced Access Beta was going to start on the 23rd of October, which is Thursday. So get on shot. Now, we do have a fanatical link for PC and Mac owners. That is used to give donations to Bowel Cancer UK, and we've raised nearly just over £150. Next target is obviously 200. If you'd like to do that, please use our link. At 4 o'clock, 2 new podcast interviews with Miles dropped today. I'm not going to cover them because actually I want to direct you to them. So if you don't already watch or follow the FM show pod, I'm going to put the link down to there in the comments down below. And if you don't follow him, you really should watch both of them. Workless Space has also had an interview with Miles, with him and Nerdphonic. Give a shout out to Nerdphonic for doing all the cameras and all the setup and the editing. They're 2 great interviews. I'm not going to cover them in depth like I do normally on my channel. I just want you to go watch them because they're great people, great content, great interviews. Okay, so first thing we're starting with is the start screen. That's crisp. I like that. Very simple, very crisp. To be fair, we've seen this leaked a few times. I like how crisp the game footage is. I like it. I do like it. I think if this comes to console, it'll be a winner. I think it's nice, it's bold. The text is a little bit small. I do wonder, I'm watching this on a small laptop. How big's that going to be on a 40-inch TV? Is that going to be readable enough? That's the only thing I do have a concern about console. But otherwise, I'm happy with it. I like it. I like how clean it is. I still like, obviously, all the details. They've got the original transfer mode, and they've got your game preferences. Very similar to how you before. You got your game start date up the top right. Everything's pretty much the same. I don't mind this. Fine. Right, let's get into our creating the manager profile. I've seen these before. They didn't look that great because they were quite grainy. They're okay. I still think people complain now these aren't okay. But let's quickly skip ahead to when they actually start creating Spencer. I quite like that. I think that's quite good. I mean, the coat's nice. The jeans don't look all right. I mean, it's a bit Simsy. I think that's what they were saying. People were saying the other day. But that looks better than the grainy images we were having leaked only the other day. I like a bit of the personality. I like the fact that they move about a bit. I like the fact you can customize it. You can change your chin. You can have a goatee, facial hair, stuff like that. You can set the hair's still not quite right for me. The hair's still not quite right. I'd rather have a baseball cap. Give me a baseball cap. Tony Pulis me up. It's all right. It's not great. It's better than what we thought they were going to be on my last video. So this is where it gets a bit interesting because this is the further in depth we haven't covered yet, which is the manager creation. So it asks you for your experience. You can go anything between generational superstar all the way back down to absolutely no experience at all, which is bog standard in Football Manager. However, the more interesting bit is a non-playing role, which asks you, what was your non-playing role, which can be anything from coaching, so you could easily put in that you've got coaching experience. You could be a scout or like Andre Villas-Boas, I suppose. You could have medical. You could pretend you're Bob Paisley, I suppose, being a physio. You could be an ex-pundit, like Fabio Capello or Roy Keane. Maybe you could be a pundit before you a manager type thing, like a retired pro. Think about it. You could set yourself up like Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard or Wayne Rooney or Rio Ferdinand. Okay, they're English ones because that's the ones that come to my head. But imagine being a retired generational superstar who then becomes a pundit and then takes over his first club. I mean, narrative-wise, which is what they're actually after, I think, in FM26, you could say, I want to be a once-in-a-golden generation superstar who then was a pundit and then took over his boyhood club. Or, you could do those type of stories, which are really interesting. However, the more interesting one is, who decided referees or match officials? That's the interesting one. Like I said, you can have coaches. So you could be anything between manager, assistant manager, first team coach, all the way down to a youth coach getting automatically promoted. Which could be, this youth coach has been promoted over his station. Will he survive? Okay, and then it comes down to coaching badges. Now, I'm still not convinced coaching badges have a massive impact in Football Manager. I'll be honest with you. It's one of my things I stand on the mountain and probably shout the loudest about. And I'm still not convinced because I always have no qualifications. But it does say here, coaching badges are a reflection of knowledge, skills, and understanding of best practices. Those who have earned higher badges are considered to be more accomplished within the coaching discipline. Now, this is interesting because they're replacing the coaching attributes. Having the badges actually might make it more important this year. They might actually mean something. So you could be Continental Pro license. You could have UEFA A, B, C license. Obviously, it's not just UEFA. You could have national licenses, or you could have no licenses. So you could easily adapt your reputation based on your coaching badges, which hopefully that means coaching badges will have much more of an impact on your coaching than they usually have in before. Now, I'm going to get them to explain the next bit because I think this is massive. This is a massive thing which we're going console, which I think they're trying to rejig for PC. So let's get into what Miles and Spencer have said specifically about. Let's get a bit more about the coaching style specifically because this is a new area from Spencer and Miles.
Got all these different coaching style. We've got your coaching attributes, your mental attributes, your tendencies, which I like. So
and you can choose up to 3 of these
so
as well.
This is probably going to be more what I want to be rather than what I'm. So I want attacking football.
Yep.
I want energetic football. I want us to be the fittest team in the league.
Yep.
And I want to entertain, Miles.
There you go. Now, as you were ticking those boxes,
this is
your coaching attributes changed. Now, staff attributes are no longer out of 20. We're now using word descriptions.
Right.
And one of the reasons for that is no one can tell you what the difference is between 16 and a 17 on attacking coaching, right? Yeah. So we just thought it better to actually use descriptions. So these will still improve and get worse depending on your actions inside the game.
And that's what they've brought in a little bit of console. It's really interesting because basically what they've done is they give you a rating and it adds that and it tells basically it's about buy-in and it's more about player dynamics. But it's interesting to see they're taking that concept into PC. What they're trying to do is get away from your coaching attributes, as Miles said, and you can see as he was changing it, you could see they were gradually changing. Let's watch this again.
But this sets up the basics. So you can look at this and by choosing different options, this will basically you can muck about this a little bit, fiddle about with it until you get the things that you choose.
Has this also taken into consideration the previous
Absolutely,
as well?
which is why, because you're coming in as a UEFA C and as someone without a lot of experience, ticking on attacking, it has an effect, but it's not a huge effect.
Yeah, I'm not world class or anything,
So you've gone up from reasonable.
And then they've introduced personality, and there's 6 personalities, as you can see: driven, disciplined, resilient, convincing, inspirational, and accomplished. And you choose another 2, and again that will change the other attributes again. And again, let's hear how they change the attributes again.
Driven and inspirational is I feel like I've got a bit of a I can think of some managers in real life that this personality is emulating. Okay, manager creation, that this is who you are, but it does not define who you'll become.
Absolutely.
Only your choices for your career can do that. I love that.
Now, I quite like this because it says he's ready to embark on a new journey, but it does have his ability. It says his tendencies. It says he's attacking, energetic, entertaining, highly driven, and inspires others. So that's where his tendencies are coming from based on what he wanted his personality and style to be towards. Now, there's a lot of little tips here, so I sped this up because obviously they're talking quite a few things. So you can see here now there's new messages. You go into new messages, it'll teach you about that. Tasks, unread. It'll give you a bit about the news. It'll give you the calendar. And there's 10 areas it's going to cover here. You've got getting around, so it's explaining the portal, the squad, the recruitment, the match day screen. It's got your fixtures, more information about your next opponents. You've got searching and finding, which is at the top for FMPedia. Then you've got obviously the continue, and then you've got the what next. So there's a lot of information there that they're trying to get in, and I've sped this up because it was about 4-5 minutes full of conversation on it. But basically, it's trying to get the people like me, like you probably who are watching this, where you are probably thousands of hours into the FM over your lifetime. You may have played 20 versions and it's 1,000 every hour. That's 20,000 hours. But you're used to that one game. And they're saying the new players aren't that experienced with it and they don't have that much trouble. Whereas you may do. You may need that extra time. So take your time on the tutorials. You might need more than 10 minutes to pick it up. It's not going to be straightforward for you straight away. but they're there to help you guide through the process because you're going to spend a lot of time trying to get used to it. And that's okay. New players will pick it up quite quick because they know better. Yeah, well, where do I go here? What do I do now? Experienced players, not old players. Experienced veteran players are going to be going, where do I have to go here now? Because they're used to the muscle memory. And it's just about getting used to it. It might take a couple of hours, but it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. We're going to cross to Miles now and see what Miles is explaining about the navigation of that screen. So, Miles, take it away.
By just using those drop downs.
Yeah, that's nice. And that's the same for each section.
For each section,
nice.
Each section has those. So we call that the secondary navigation inside the game.
I really like this. I gotta be honest. This is one of the bonuses. It's not in a sidebar. It's just drop downs. I like this. Again, it's one of those things with console. What are they actually going to be putting in as console? Is it going to go into triggers? Is it going to be just drag up? Let's see how this console controller works. Or is it going to be like you may already have, use it by mouse and keyboard? Let's see.
But so much stuff. I mean, this is what we love about the game, though, right?
And it's huge. And if you go to match day, for example, and just click on the arrow, you will see there that you have little icons at the end.
Yeah.
So if you click on penalties, that brings a pop-up.
Okay.
So where you're seeing those little icons, that means that it's a pop-up that goes onto the screen, and then to get out of that, you can just click on it to get out of.
Back to where you were.
And if there isn't a pop-up icon, that means that it's a pure card in its own right, if you like, or a tile in its own right.
Okay.
And that's a really key distinction to make, because they were pointing out in the UI, in the alpha testing last week, that there wasn't a back button for those cards. There was if there's a pop-up, as we've just seen, but whether or not it has or has not for a card, we haven't actually seen in this video. So we're going to have to leave that there and see if they get that in place maybe by the time the game releases. Now, interestingly, there has been a change to bookmarks. Originally it was 6, but Miles is going to explain why it's now 12.
Now you've come over to the bookmarks, inquisitive person, come to the bookmarks. So you'll see though that we've got 6 bookmarks. When we announced this, we said that there were going to be 6 bookmarks.
Yeah.
We've actually changed that because PC players have different size resolutions, okay, ranging from people playing on a Steam Deck, where you've got a much smaller screen size, to an old school monitor, through to the people that have the 4K monitors, and apparently some have 8K. You've probably got an 8K.
I need to. I didn't know there was one.
So if you've got a high resolution screen, you can have a choice of about 10. If you click on the down arrow next to the bookmarks, you can see we've now got loads more choice.
So we can just star any of these?
You can instantly add another 6 to your list from there, and then you have to swap them around.
Calendar for me is crucial. I always want to see what's my fixtures, who have I got coming up.
And I think that's a welcome return for bookmarks. Bookmarks used to be key. It was one of those things they took away, and really I don't quite understand why they did it, but it was key to people's game. You create your own bookmarks, put them where you like, and you have like shortcuts and commands. We don't know what the shortcuts and commands are going to be in FM26, but you had you could easily get to where you wanted to. Having that customization, bear in mind skins can't be customized at the moment in time, is a nice little touch. Now, Miles' personal favourite, alongside animations, is the FMPedia. Let's find out why.
It sounds really sad, right, when we've got so much new inside the game, but this, alongside the animations, could well be my favourite new thing that we've added to the series. So if you click on search, now normally with search you would just use it for searching for player names, right, or for club names. Type in tactic.
Oh, wow.
So you now have what we call FMPedia. It's an encyclopedia of football.
Wow.
So this is for people who might not know football as well or want to learn more about it. We've got that in there. But if you click on the tactics thing on the left-hand side as well, that should take you directly to your tactics screen.
And I like that. You can just say, I can't find this screen. Where is it? Oh, put tactics in. It'll take you there. It's not just a search of a player or a club. It actually is user-friendly. It is user interface. It is improving that user experience. If you can't remember where a screen is, just type in. Not too sure about the FMPedia quite yet, because I know that they've said, we've designed this. It's our wording. We should know how to, and they should. But you know what I mean? It'd be nice to have a bit more of an explanation about what certain roles are and what the background is, maybe. Maybe that's something they can evolve, if you want to know more about this. There's a website, or we've got partners that will give you that information. or it's a better explanation about, I don't know, data hub or statistics or something like that. But, come on, I haven't played it yet. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's get into tactics next. Okay, so we can see the tactics screen is pretty familiar when you start off. You choose a tactical style, and then it gives you the two options of in possession, you choose a tactic, and then out of possession, you choose a tactic. They're suggested, as always, by the assistant, and there's also a menagerie of other tactics you can choose. What isn't quite clear is whether or not you can then move them around as easily as you can. It didn't really mess about with moving them in and out of tactics, so let's just double check. I do like this part of the tactics screen. There's another bit I'm not too sure on, but this part of the tactics screen where they got in, out and combined, and it's that nice little layout, I don't mind that. I do have some concerns on console whether or not those buttons at the bottom for a substitute bench are maybe a bit too small. Again, we're going to have to see what the layout is of the UI. Arcade suggested it was slightly similar, maybe a little bit different. But let's just see, let's go into a bit more. Let's see what they're saying about the in and out of possession tactics.
A quick pick, sorry, yeah.
Let your assistant pick it. Just so you've got it there. So you can see there that you can change your in possession roles and your out of possession roles.
Yeah, so you could be a winger and it tells you like how good they are at each position.
And animations for each one of them and your key attributes for each one of them as well.
Yeah, so Lucas Paqueta, maybe more of a playmaking winger.
Wasn't there a really smooth UI interface then showing you that when you click on them, again, it is always the same. But like, it just looked nice. It looked simple. You clicked it, it made it simple, and then you could make the change. I quite like that. I like the UI, I like it combined. I like the fact it's color-coded to tell you what the position is when you're in and out of possession. I think that's a nice touch they've taken from skin mods.
Okay.
So team instructions, you've got here, this is your in possession team instructions. You can also have your out of possession ones, or you can be looking them all at the same time.
Now, I like that bit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is there seems to be a lot of clicking. And when you look at those little icons on them, they are very, very small to make the adjustments. Now, when you're playing on PC, that seems perfectly logical and you can use your mouse. Again, it's coming to the console user interface. I'm not sure whether or not the console user interface is going to be this detailed. I don't want it being lots of clicks. I don't want the mouse or the controller, the joystick lagging, and it causes you to... That'll be very frustrating. It looks good. I understand it. I did like it before. I'm not a massive fan of it, but it's not the worst thing I've seen in the world. I think it's just a lot of clicks, a lot of screens, and a lot of information. Well, I used to just like the sliders, to be honest with you. So, and that worked really well in console. And I think it really worked well in tactics, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of information here. I do also like the overview when you click and move around the screen as well. I think that's quite good. That being said, when you click into those tiles, I quite like that interface.
And if you click on all instructions, that's the huge amount of instructions that you have for both in possession and out of possession.
And we can go, between.
See, and it's so much information overload. I'm not quite sure it works. It looks good. In playing it, it might be great, but I am a little bit concerned about this one area. It's a lot of things, whereas it used to be just sliders and there used to be 3 tabs, whereas now it's all in one place. It looks okay, but I do have my concerns, and that's natural, I think.
It's either right click or left click on a player's shirt. You've got your player instructions down there as well.
So I can play instructions, I can do a quick compare to players in that position as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because I've just put Suchek in there, for example, and they're not sure about him, but that's probably because I've got him as a deep lying.
And then they are pointing out quite clearly by you, as you can see, that if you change between in and out of possession, it changes the star ratings, which is a big impact. You could have a really bad player out of possession, but you may want to go, well, actually, that's a wrong type of role for him, and you could change it around. That's really key. That's really good. That's really good information, depth, and things for you to consider.
I want him to be a centre forward, or maybe a target forward. Out of possession, maybe he could be tracking back. Yeah, okay, so you've got 2 roles. It doesn't have to be the same thing.
It's unprecedented control. And the roles, some of them you'll recognise the names, but again, look at the descriptions, look at the key attributes, because a lot of them have changed and a lot of them are new as well.
And that's tactics. Now let's get into the game and see how you actually manage in the game. So Jared Bowen joined Spencer Owen on this, and they played 3 games. Let's have a look at the graphics. I'm going to do a couple of highlights. I'm not doing the entire games because it's about 60 minutes of gameplay. Let's just go through some of the highlights. Let's show you some of the goals, is it? To be fair, the match day graphics look great, don't they? And this was actually the current game week, so they played tonight.
That's what we're up
They play
against, mate.
5, yeah. I thought they played
You've got
5.
Jordan in there. I mean, and also look at the stadium. Like, look at the actual. You've got the licenses, all Premier League.
That's what I mean. Even the lineups with the faces and that.
It feels like
Even
next
like
level.
that, like the walk out, the ball on the stands.
The crowd. Look at this drone
I
shot.
do like these graphics. I really do like this gameplay. It is the first step. Let's not forget, but it does look good.
Seeing this is like.
It's never been anything like this before.
No,
like,
it's like
Nice build-up play.
And obviously, when you're playing at home, you can get all the sounds. On all this stuff.
Felt a bit glitchy there.
Right.
I like the drone shots. The drone shots are quite cool. Just before they play, they've had a bit of fun there, haven't they?
Probably a smudge quicker than this.
Yeah.
But not where it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not where it's like. I think when there's the middle bar, I'm probably about 2 clicks to the right, if that makes sense. That's what I've always played at before. So then you got the middle. Who's got a penalty?
Checking.
I think I've just given away a penalty because that's said by me.
Penalty awarded.
Wow.
Bowen. No, you give it away.
No, that's what I said. I thought I said.
Listen, you can't write this.
I was too excited before the game.
Come on, Areola. Yes, saved it.
Got me out of that.
1 minute in. Well, I'm not liking this XG. Time wasting, build up strategy, goal kicks.
I need to see what the options are. So say pass and direct, so progress through.
Do you want to just go down to the right, mate?
Just play that.
Get it to Jared.
And I think this is what's going to be the problem for many of us moving forward, working out what the options are. There's going to be guides, there's going to be people helping you. They've already said Sports Interactive are going to try and help people navigate it because they are already identifying that this may be an issue. But you can just see here between Jared and Spencer, who both played Football Manager, they are both going, what are we going to do here?
Transition. Yeah, we're counter pressing, we want that. We're getting stuck in.
Yeah, well, I got stuck in a little bit too much and gave away a pen.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. I take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Pressing trap outside, trap inside.
Where we got the bodies? I reckon leave it balanced.
Yeah. Right. Anything else we need to change here? Creative freedom.
We've got pass. I don't know if these are linked, but we've got pass reception.
Yeah.
Into space, but then we've got short passing. Are they the same, or you know what I mean? So pass into space. Would that not be a little bit? Would they not be longer passes?
Yeah,
does that make sense?
We could change that. We could just go balanced. Sometimes you can't go wrong with just balance, mate.
No.
Let the game do it for you.
Trust the players.
Should we change our boy Nicholas up front?
It's interesting seeing them talk about how to set it up, considering they're both in the footballing world. And they're like, oh, what do we do? How do we do this? It's really interesting, actually.
Complete forward.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot of changes 15 minutes into a game. How are we going to get changes?
Now, there's a lot of people complaining about the 2D match highlights and the in-between height screen.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I'm looking at it and it's quite colourful, it's quite informative. I think it's going to take some getting used to, as everything does. But actually, I'm a big fan of this. But I can see why people wouldn't as well. But I don't mind it. I think it shows you what they're changing to. For example, you can see that Brentford are playing in 3 at the back, whereas West Ham are playing a 4-2-3-1. And you can sort of see how the 3 at the back are working in that 280 engine. I quite like it. But I'm aware others don't. But I'm a fan of this one. But then they start getting success. West Ham not scoring 1, but 2 goals.
Work from here. How can you not give an assist for this? He's beating his man. He's into the box. No one's getting near him.
Is this a shot or a cross?
I think he crosses it. Keeper comes up. I think he's got to give an assist for that,
yes. No? I'd be arguing for it as an attacking player.
Unless he's got an assist bonus, in which case it's not an assist.
No, it's not an assist.
Five here.
Don't mind it.
Yes.
Don't mind it.
Go on. No way. Oh, it's a substitute. That's
Fresh
what we
legs,
do.
bring him on.
That is management. If you're wondering, take notes.
What a decision.
I'm giving you the credit for that.
Nah, it's a joint one.
I wanted to see you up front, and that's what allowed
Luis to come on and 2-0. That's got to be.
Might be first goal as well.
Yeah, I don't want to tempt fate, but
we've won it now, mate. I will happily tempt fate. We have won.
Again, we've seen those little bit of skill moves with the little shimmies we're getting in with the players. I like that. Great goal. Plus, the deflection off the keeper on the first was superb. Volley into the ground. 2 great goals, 2 great animations, and I actually liked that a lot. So, how did they go on against Leeds? Now, it's important to note two things here. In the first game, they were playing with high graphical quality. In the Leeds game, they're playing with the lowest graphical quality to show the difference and show how the game would run under the least graphical demand. And you know what? It wasn't that bad. It was quite good, actually. Well, until this happened. Great build-up play from the back, on the halfway line, and Leeds get a tap in.
We don't start games well, do we?
I don't need that.
Seriously. Leeds.
I need to see this again.
Defending was a little bit dodgy. Didn't want to get. You could see the player with the ball, the hands behind the back, and you could see them not wanting to dive in. That was good graphics, to be fair. Poor defending, but animated really well.
Shot there only 8 yards out.
We've got some work to do. It's not right.
But when they were down, this was absolutely superb, I thought.
Jared!
I was really impressed with this.
It's what he does.
On the right foot. See, I needed it in the channel.
That was liquid football. Do you? That's what we ask of you. Look at the vision from this man. And that was the weaker foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Play him up
Control
front.
Control with the right, finish with the right. It's a great finish.
Perry had no chance.
And in this clip, you can start to see the out-of-possession tactics work quite nicely. I didn't really pay much of central attacking midfielder pulling back to help his opposition. The central attacking midfielder of Leeds dropping back to provide extra cover. But still didn't prevent a goal. West Ham go 2-1 up.
Cross it to full cover now.
Go on. Yeah, Barry.
It's got a brace.
What a player. Oh, we moved him to the right as well.
Can do it all.
What a player.
Should we just go to the left and try and get an hat-trick?
Stickery.
No.
But despite Jared's best attempts at winning the game, Leeds pull it back. It ends 2-2.
2-2 was manned out. No.
Offside. Yeah.
The flag's not up. Jack Harrison of all people.
But let's leave the football now. Let's get into what they also showed us, which was the transfer room and how the pitch opportunities and how that works. And that's going to be our last bit today. We're going to get into the transfer room. Let's get into it. First, Spencer shows us a youth screen, which is interesting. I like the idea of the transfer room. It's like speed dating, right? You go in there going, I need this type of player. The clubs will come to you and say, here's the type of players. It almost gets rid of the archaic way of going, look, this player's transfer listed, this player's loan listed. Are they interested in coming to us for a transfer? Are they interested in coming to us for a loan? Those little toggle buttons have been completely changed into these two new screens. Transfer opportunities out and transfer opportunities in. It's great. It makes the whole process a lot better. I can see me using, if this is in console, because they did have intermediaries not in console. So if this is in console, I could spend most of my day just playing in these two screens.
Okay, so we can search for players, obviously. We can have a look at the squad planner. You start to plan not only your current season, but
I like the fact they're integrating the squad planner. Again, another feature we don't get in console, but it's one of those ones I really do wish they did have it. Whatever reason I'm going in console doesn't make sense. They say it's being streamlined, but actually it makes complete sense to have it in console. Putting it in transfer room makes complete sense as well, which is why I'm a bit concerned what we're seeing at this moment in time isn't going to be in console in this part. Or it's going to be some sort of amalgamation, or it's going to be removed, and it's going to be a disappointment for us, because this is a type of stuff people want in console. Please.
Page again. If you look on the contract section, we've got a new color coordinated key, if you like, that will tell you exactly how long is left on each contract. Obviously, if it's green, you're looking good. You've got a couple of years on it, and it
just
gets
smart.
closer to red.
Color coordinated, make it easier for people. Only thing you got to be careful of is color blindness and stuff like that. But I'm sure that all works out in the accessibility mode.
Lucas Fabianski, he was released. Maybe they thought he was going to retire. Maybe he thought about retiring. Then he came back. He ain't leaving. 24.5 mil available here, lads. I could have done some business. Just wait for January. Recommendations. Who are they recommending to me?
Mind you, good to see some things never change. So similar. It's like putting on SIP as the screen was. It was great.
I'm looking for youth players.
I really did like the fact it was very simple
you could do a lot worse than just copy.
I won't lie, the match day screen is going to take some getting used to for me. I'm not a big fan of that table. Lots of other bits I'm happy with. The table maybe not, but that's just me being a bit pedantic, I suppose.
We learned with Miles we can break them down even more so by clicking on these various boxes. Like
I forgot about that. Stand corrected. I like that bit. Here.
And then we've got club, which is all about the club that you are managing. It's a really easy.
And that, it's one of these things. People forget the whole point of the UI is to make everything that makes sense in one place. So club finances, vision, boardrooms, whatever you've got on it, it all sort of makes sense. You know, you got facilities, transfer history, supporters, they got low influence, responsibilities under control. You've got, performance feedback. It's all in a nice little bit there. Yeah, fine. It's interesting on this bit, you've got the job centre underneath your coaching badges, and you've got the job centre underneath your relationships, your managerial stats. So they played 74 days here, so you can see here they've got 7 jobs available at this moment in time: Norwich, Watford, and Wrexham. You can see his top attributes are very good attacking, defending, and fitness. They've got rid of most of the guff, really. It's most of the bloat. But you can see your relationships there. You can see your badges there. Yep, that makes all sense. Makes complete sense. Have they got rid of the time? I think they've got rid of the timeline, but look as well, look. There's no timeline there. They've got the history, but not the timeline. So I must have listened to feedback there about not many people liking the actual timeline. I do like the fact is that little red dot above the contract as well. By the contract, that's like impending doom of when you're going to forget to renew your contract. And then the last screen is the squad screen. And I actually quite like, again, a lot of details centralised in one place. There's a lot of information, a lot of tiles, a lot of cards. You can just dip in and out. It looks great. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you like that. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like and comment. Tell me what you think. Also, don't forget to check out the FM Show Pod and Workless Spaces videos. Go check them out because they're great interviews of Miles. He's much more engaging in these interviews than he was, I think, in the press, which was obviously around October time. At the beginning of October. So he's much more relaxed than I think he's coming across here in those interviews. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.